now I think, Dylan, are you all right to move on to reacting to the table predictions, so we
Yeah.
can be laughed at a little bit more and see all the
Well,
bad
they can't
predictions?
really laugh at us because we're only like halfway through the season. But we're just
Good
gonna
point.
talk
point.
about how we believe it might end out then.
So, how are we doing this, Dylan? Are we doing it by the order of the table at the minute, or are we going through each
We
team?
go through our predictions. I
Perfect.
have yours written down here if you don't have yours, so I'll just
Yeah,
ask it.
perfect.
So you started off the season with Shams top of the table.
Yeah.
And they're currently second. How are you feeling?
I still think they'll win the league. I hate to say it,
Oh,
might piss you off, but sure. I
think Shams win the league too.
yeah.
No,
I think there's really only one team that you could choose to win the league, and it probably was Shamrock Rovers.
Yeah.
That you'd look like a fool. So yeah, I'm happy enough with the prediction. They probably haven't hit the next level, and I think they will. Obviously they have Richie Tal to come in.
Yeah.
I'm pretty confident that I'll be right there and they will win the league. But definitely respect to Sligo and Pat to some extent, but mainly Sligo for putting up a fight at this time. Definitely, 100%.
Yeah.
All right, so who did you put top? I assume it's Rovers as well, was it? Or was it Dundalk?
I put Dundalk.
Oh.
I seen the silence they brought in, and I was like, yeah, nah, Shams aren't winning again. But I mean, if I could go back and change it, I would. I'd put Sligo on top of the table. But Dundalk, yeah, 7th place now. It's not looking good for Dundalk. All the manager issues they've had. Jim Magilton isn't doing any good either. The wages the players are on. Sahib is on $4,000 a week. Players like that, should be higher up the table than 7th. But yeah, I'm not happy with that prediction now. I'm pissed off myself.
Little question for you. Do you think Dundalk will get Europe?
Oh, no.
Oh, wow.
I probably agree. I think where they are right now is where they'll finish.
Ooh, 7th?
7th, yeah.
Oh,
well, wow. I could be wrong. Come back to this and you can abuse me all you want. But
it depends on the manager that they bring in.
Huh?
It depends who they bring in as the manager.
Oh, yeah.
That will have a big impact. But yeah, definitely very disappointing for Dundalk. And like you said, their budget is huge.
Yeah.
All right.
2nd place at the start of the season went with Bows. We're currently in 5th place.
To be fair, all right, it isn't amazing, but they are getting better. I don't think they'll finish 2nd, but I think Bows will get Europe pretty comfortably. They had some.
I don't know.
I think so. I think they'll finish 3rd.
I think they'll finish 4th.
Yeah. Definitely though. They brought in so many good players. It was always going to take a while for them to gel, but probably took a bit longer than I thought. So overall, I don't think it will look as bad as it is now when the season's over.
Yeah.
But you can only go off what's happened, and so far it doesn't look the best. But sure, we'll see anyway. I'm pretty sure they'll improve.
Sorry, they will come 3rd. Sorry, not 4th. I went at the start of the season. I went Shams to come 2nd, and they're currently 2nd.
Yeah.
I'm happy with that prediction. The way it is so far. Hopefully, it stays like that. The real Rovers will finish top of the league. But yeah, Shams 2nd. I can't
the
see
real Rovers. Oh.
More than likely top 2 is a definite for Shams, I'd say.
Yeah, I'd agree.
You went Dundalk in 3rd.
Okay, I think
they're 7th. So
not amazing, but I don't think too many people would have Dundalk lower than 3rd at the start of the season.
Oh yeah,
for being honest.
Top 3.
I think I always knew that having so many new players from different nationalities would be a bit of a problem.
Yeah.
I probably didn't expect it to be this bad because even without the new players, you still have the likes of Chris Shields, Michael Duffy, Pat Hubin. You'd expect to step up a little bit more. But it's clear that the dynamic isn't right there and things need to be sorted. But overall, I think 3rd's pretty solid considering how, if you're looking at the squad before Bowes kicked, you would have probably had them in the top 3 at the minute.
Yeah.
So yeah, happy enough.
I went Bows in 3rd. Hard to see them. It's hard to see past that top 3 of Dundalk, Shams, and Bows at the start of the season.
Yeah.
We see how it is. 13 or 14 games not gone now.
Yeah, 14.
But yeah, 5th place, 14 games in, it's not looking great. Once you fall behind in this league, it's hard to get back up.
Momentum is such a big thing.
There's only 10 teams in the league, and teams play each other that are close more often than like if you had in the Premier League with 20 teams, like United could be playing like Sheffield at one point, and then West Brom against Liverpool, other sides of the table. But in this league, it's too close. The teams are too.
It's not more 6-pointers, as they say.
Yeah.
So, nice.
So yeah, I'm not really happy with that prediction. Bowes could be doing better. I do see them, like Kelly up front. He's going to be a big impact on the team now if they want to push for Europe. And also players like Tierney, Devoy.
Got a lot of young players.
Fourth, we've both gone Sligo Rovers. First.
I think that's a fair prediction for me. I can see you smiling. Oh my days, you're very happy.
Oh, fucking wasn't that?
Rightly so, to be fair. Great season so far.
At the start of the season, I didn't predict. I didn't think we'd be this high up at all. I thought we'd be, down between 8th and 4th the whole season.
Oh wow!
But
Dean Buckley's at the wheel.
He is at the wheel.
Absolute legend. Big fan
of
Buckley.
Like, that prediction, it could still happen. We could drop down to 4th easily.
Yeah, definitely.
Will it happen? Probably not. We'd be in the top 2, I'd say. We would be in
the
top.
I think
it's actually so good to be saying that. It's like
how amazing would it be if you're in stadiums?
Huh?
Would you be happy to be in the stadiums when you're still in the top 2?
Oh yeah.
You're brilliant.
If we win the league now, and I'm not in the showgrounds, I won't even be able to celebrate that much. Like
I'm the same. The one year that Pats have a decent season and they can't go to the games.
Exactly.
It's a killer.
Like imagine the away days. When we beat Shams there last week. The season. Oh man.
Yeah. All the last minute winners.
That Jordan Gibson goal. Down in Waterford. The one up in Oriel. It's just man, I just missing going.
One more for you then. One more.
Yeah.
The Ian Birmingham header at the showgrounds. I was jumping into the home and slagging you if I was.
They won't be jumping back out. And then so we move on then to 5th place where we both put Derry. I think we actually have the same 4th, 5th, 6th, and 7th.
Oh,
surprisingly, we've gone both on Sligo at 4th, Derry 5th, Pat 6th, Drog 7th. So how are you feeling with that?
Yeah, I think first of all Derry 5th. I've seen people put them higher. I've seen people put them 3rd.
I actually see a prediction where someone said they win the league.
Was it a Derry fan?
No, it was a Dundalk fan.
Oh wow. That's crazy.
If I remember, I think it was Dundalk. It was Dundalk draw that because they had Loud in their bio.
Yeah, they really lack a proper CDM that can sit in front of the back 4. Obviously, things have improved a lot since Rory Higgins has come in, but the season started so poorly. I think maybe 5th at a push, but teams above them would need to drop off.
Yeah.
But yeah, overall pretty solid. What do you think about Derry?
I mean, what else could I think, really? They haven't had the best of seasons. They're sitting in 8th. They have the players to do way better than what they're doing right now.
Yeah.
Gareth side, he's an unreal keeper. He's with Northern Ireland, like.
Yeah.
Then they've told he was with them as well, or he was with the under 21s, was it?
Yeah. He's over 21, so he would be with the senior team if he is involved.
McJanish, he's unreal as well. They've Lafferty from signed off Shams again.
Kieran Cole.
You haven't heard much of him, like.
Lafferty.
Yeah. It's unreal.
Solid.
But you're not hearing much of him, like up at Derry.
Yeah, I think he's probably better as a left wing back than a left back, if I'm being honest. And now that they're playing a 5 at the back, he's sort of coming into his own a bit more. But sure, definitely hasn't had the impact that Derry fans probably hope for.
Yeah. Then they have players midfield, Patchen. We talked about him before. But then up top, then Parkhouse. He's been a bit disappointing this season. The acting tune this be more of the goal scorer for Derry than Parkhouse, which most people wouldn't have expected.
Yeah, definitely not. I think they signed Akintunde actually. His contract was signed pretty late. So maybe that shows that they didn't really think they needed him. So they're definitely lucky that he signed on. Because imagine that Derry side without Akintunde.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah, definitely.
Then 6th, we both went Pats.
Oh, I'm glad that I'm wrong. I wasn't optimistic at the start of the season, if I'm being honest.
They're,
I thought the
they're
squad.
starting to fall off now, though. So,
I don't think we'll finish sixth. I hope not, anyway. I can't see it happening. I think the Pats squad is too small. That's why I put them in sixth.
yeah.
And I always thought that our first 11 could compete with anyone in the league, but once you look at the bench and it drops a lot. To be fair, you have a lot of young players coming in, but I think that's shown really in the season so far. Ever since the Friday Mondays have started kicking in, and we need our big squad, and we've gathered a few injuries. You can see the performance levels drop when players come off the bench as well.
Yeah, we're kind of the same. Where our squad isn't that small.
Yeah.
Certain positions, Brush. If you want to rest McGinty, Brush isn't the greatest player to have.
But when you think of it, right? So for Pats, all right, Robbie Benson got injured, all right. So big player, big shame. It was a shame to have him injured, obviously. And Alfie Lewis came in. He's a young player from West Ham, isn't ready for senior football yet. Good in the ball, but then outside of Alfie Lewis, you had your midfield three of Lennon, Forrester, and Lewis. They had to play every game for a couple of weeks, and they couldn't come off because there was no one else on the bench apart from Keane Corbally, who has a promising future. He's only 17, hasn't played a senior game yet. And Ben McCormick, who's more attacking and probably doesn't have, I don't know, maybe the physical ability to play senior football week in, week out. Yeah. So I think mid-season break, Pats need to bring in a few bodies, bulk out the squad, and I think if we do, I'm pretty confident we'll get Europe. But we could definitely finish sixth, depending on injuries and that sort of thing.
Yeah, I think the same. Pats. I've actually been surprised. I didn't expect them to be doing this well. I thought they'd be the same as us. Up between that 8 and 4 position. It's really surprising this year, but I do feel they're starting to fall off a bit now. Seventh, with Drugs, who are actually fourth now. It's some surprise, with Drugs this season.
To be fair to us, though, seventh is pretty high. A lot of people would have said a bit lower than seventh. I've seen people put draw to 9th and 8th, to be fair. I've looked at a few predictions now, obviously, knowing that we're going to react to them. And I think with Drogheda, they've been such a good surprise. I'm sure all the Drogheda fans are over the moon. But they're definitely the surprise of the season, like I said. But I think if we put them higher than 7th, we'd be getting some dodgy looks at the start of the season.
Yeah, we would.
So I'm happy enough with it.
Yeah, but they have the team, they have the players. They've players all over the pitch. Doyle, Murray, Lyons in that front three. Then they have Markey in midfield, Deegan. Then they have players at the back like O'Reilly, just Massey. For a team that just came up from the first division, really, really impressive. And their manager as well, very good manager. They've been impressive this season.
Yeah.
8th position. You went Harps.
Okay.
I went Waterford.
So does that mean you have Harps in the relegation playoffs?
It means I have Harps in the relegation playoffs.
Alright, so I'll go with Harps anyway. So obviously doing better than 8th. Once again, you probably look crazy if you put them any higher than maybe 7th.
Yeah.
Just so good. Ollie Horgan working his magic every year. I'm sure if you ask Ollie Horgan right now, though, he'd be probably happy with 9th position, to be honest with you.
He'd easily be happy with 9th.
Yeah, it's crazy. So you never know, they might drop off, but definitely some encouraging signs. And it might seem a bit crazy, but I still hear a few Finn Harps fans thinking that they might get Europe. Which, but when you think of it, then they're 3 points off Drogheda, who are in 4th. It's a fair.
Harps will have the bottle to get Europe. If you're a Harps fan, you have your suitcase packed for Europe. Get it all packed now. You don't have the bottle. Screen record this and send it to me if you get Europe, because you'll be deleting it from your camera roll.
Did you see Ollie Horgan said that the only European trip they'll get is off the Lords to bless themselves? It's very funny.
Ollie Horgan, he's like something about Ollie Horgan. He's not the best of managers.
I think,
but he's the funniest. He's just such a fella. His interview after us, the interviewer asked him what will you do over the break? You go, we go to Knock, we pray.
Yeah. He's a some man for praying.
He's an interesting character.
Him and Paul Hegarty as well. Paul Hegarty's equally as mad.
Yeah.
What a legend.
We've said
So
it many times, like, if you're losing at half time in that heart change room, you beg you to get out of it.
no, definitely would not like to be there.
We don't know what goes on. He could either be screaming at them, or he could be telling, them about the story about what he had for dinner. Just trying, keep the
I've
mind up
actually
the fact
heard.
they're actually losing.
I've actually heard that Ollie Horgan. I don't know if I should be saying this, but he seems to always know what the team the opposition is going to play.
Oh yeah.
You have a weird shout. You could be playing.
And the worst
I
thing
don't know.
about it, he goes to every Sligo game
Yeah.
if Hearts aren't playing. He's always in the showgrounds.
But like he seems to know if the fucking dinner lady's playing. He seems to know what position she's playing and what the tactics are. He definitely has some spies, honestly. These are just me waffling now at this stage, but you better see if you have any spies, Finn Harp spies in your dressing room, because he definitely knows every single week. It's crazy.
Yeah.
So
8, I went Waterford. Waterford, man. 10th now. I've a few friends down in Waterford.
Yeah.
They're not loving life. They're actually starting to get a bit more excited now. Because Mark Birkin started to talk big in his interviews, which means nothing really to me. But yeah, Waterford's very, very poor. They had that COVID, had that thing with COVID, wasn't great. Kyle Ferguson isn't allowed back after doing his self-isolating.
Yeah, he isn't allowed back. Why not?
I don't know, to be honest.
For everyone, isn't it? Never heard that before.
It's the HSE that are not doing it. FAI and the club are trying to get him back in. It's just the HSE aren't letting him. But Waterford, if they wanna survive, they better start doing something now.
Yeah.
Your camera's off, by the way.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, all good now. Right. So who did you put 9th then? In that case, Finn Harps.
You put Waterford. I put Hearts. We've already discussed them. But if you have anything to say about Waterford.
Sorry, Don. The camera keeps going off. Anyway, yeah, I think you covered everything. I think obviously Birchman hasn't been the best. He's doing the best that he can with a limited squad. Let's be real, very, very young group of players, but sure, what else can he do? Overall, decent enough. Waterford fans, I think they probably bite your hand off for the playoff now at this stage as well. It seems to be them and Longford and then a big gap. So, yeah, I think that's it. There's so many problems at Waterford. It's hard to blame any individual.
Yeah.
Right.
10th, we both put Longford.
Yeah. They're 9th now, aren't they?
Impressed with Longford.
Yeah, so bad.
They're 9th, but like, held Shams in 95th minute there at the weekend. I got in, I was down, I was out for a walk and stuff like that. I got in the house, threw on the last 5 minutes, and cracking up when Gaffney scored that.
Oh.
It's just Shams, they're late winners. It just pissed me off at this point. It's getting annoying. Like, we should be a good 15 points ahead if it wasn't for them with their late winners. It's just.
It hasn't affected Sligo yet. Like, they've scored 2 late goals against Pats, an equaliser in the first day of the season. And the last minute, they beat Pats in Richmond. Ugh.
And we're still top of the league.
Yeah.
It's too good.
Actually, me and my mate, we calculated this. If they didn't score in the last minute, they'd be 10 points less than they are now. They'd be on 7 points, joint with Dundalk and both. If they didn't score in the last 5 minutes.
Oh man, stop saying that. We'd be like, how many points would we be ahead of you then? Like 5, 6?
5, yeah, 5 or 6.
Oh my god.
Stop dreaming.
Get stoppage time out of the game.
Bradley time.
Oh, yeah, but Longford, obviously, I don't know why you start talking about Shams there, but yeah, Longford, really impressive. They got some good players, coming up from the first division. I thought in the first game against us, they played good. The second game, I thought we were all over them. They didn't get a sniff. But then in other games, I've seen them. They have a good mentality.
Definitely.
When at their each start of the season, this Longford team, they're really going for it. They want to stay up. Then they came back from 2-0 down against Bows. I was like,
yeah,
this is serious. Like, but nah, they've fallen off a bit.
Well, yeah, full respect to them. I think once again, Dara Doyle's in charge there, unproven Premier Division manager, and to be fair to him, unlike Drogheda, he stuck with his squad. He didn't really make too many changes, and although maybe you can say there isn't too much Premier Division experience, they've
Yeah,
definitely not been an embarrassment. They're not like the whipping boys of whatever Drogheda and UCD a couple of years back. You know, you have to respect the way that they do really go for games as well. Like
yeah,
against Pats, I noticed I watched this game pretty closely. They lost 3-0. That was a game that you could easily see it ending 0-0.
yeah,
Just get very unlucky sometimes. You know, they're a good side, and I wouldn't be surprised if they do stay up this season. To be fair, obviously it's so hard to stay up in that playoff, but yeah, I have a lot of faith in that team.
yeah,
I think I've said it a couple of times. Big fan of Dylan Grimes.
yeah, Dylan.
Definitely one for clubs to look at if Longford end up going down, which I obviously don't think they will. But sure, interesting character.
Yeah,
Definitely a good
I
player.
do think Longford will survive
Yeah,
easily.
not good for your Watford, mate.
It's not good.
All right,
Yeah,
so
that's basically what our predictions were. You know,
yes,
yours were Shams at first. I Dundalk. You Bows at second. I Shams. You had Dundalk at third. I Bows. Both at Sligo at fourth. Both at Derry at fifth. Both at Pats at sixth. And both at Drugs at seventh. Then we went opposite. You had Harps at eighth. Waterford at ninth. I had Waterford at eighth. Harps at ninth. And then we both had Longford at tenth. So you know we agreed in a few things at the start of the season, and we seem to agree with a few things now.
yeah,
Yeah,
definitely solid though. I think
yeah.
overall, I'm happy enough with my predictions. You know, I don't think we could really
Into too
foresee
bad, you
some of
know.
the
It's just that gap between eighth, fourth,
8th
you
and
know, it's just
4th.
hard to tell really.
So close.
Just kind of
Even
just
now,
going in.
there's like maybe 2 or 3 points between 4th and 8th. It's
Yeah,
crazy. So definitely a hard one to predict. And like you said, there's so many 6 pointers because the league's so small. So it's very hard to predict. Um, you know, proper proper places in the table. It's a decent enough standard across the league as well. Like before, I think it's fair to say that there was gaps forming in the league, whereas now, like you said, 4 to 8 is crazy. Pats will be dragged into that too. That's going to be 3 to 8, I think, and you can see anything happening there.
yeah.
Crazy.
I do think Shams and Sligo are both safe
Mm.
from that, you know, that kind of mix there. I do
Yeah,
think we'll be in the top two majority of the season. There might be times we drop into third or so, but you know, right now, if I had to predict either Shams or Sligo to win the league, I'd probably say Sligo.
right.
They have
Quickly
them.
then, right?
They both teams have, you know, the players and the mentality, but you know, Shams they've already been injury struck. You know, Hearts could surprise them when we come back from the break. You know, we've got Drogheda, which I do see us winning. You know, but you know, it's hard to tell with Shams now. I do think we'll go on another good run. It'd be hard to see it. It's hard to tell when we're going to stop. But you know,
Mm.
Shams could come out and surprise me, and you know they could be on the same as us.
Yeah, obviously Rishi Tal comes in as well. But quickly then, all right. So before we just finish this segment, I think it's fair to say we're sort of a little break in the season. Give me
Yeah.
your player of the year and your top goal scorer for the season. The
I
end
mean,
of the
top
year.
goal scorer, like you know,
Yeah,
who
yeah.
it's a bit of a long shot, but I think Georgie Kelly might come out on top.
Oh wow, yeah, that definitely is a bit of a
If I had to
surprise.
go for a top three, might be surprised, but I go Georgie Kelly, Doyle, and I do see Parks picking back up again. He'll be up
Yeah,
there. And then if
if
I
I
go for player of the year, it all depends on who wins the league, really. It'll be a Shams player or a Sligo player, or maybe
yeah,
even like a Pats player or something. But if Shams win the league, it'd be hard to tell, you know, whoever had the best season. But if it's looking right now, I'd probably say, you know, someone like Manchu. He's been very
yeah.
good. But then if it's us, it could be anybody. It could be like Gibson, Bolger, Buckley. You know, like
I'd love to see Bojo
I'm
win
not
it.
trying to big up Rovers that much, but we are very, very consistent this season. We've only lost one game as well.
Yeah,
Compared to Shams, all our players have been consistent, and it's just like Shams, you know, the players have been on and off. You know, they've had injuries and stuff
yeah.
like that.
Good point.
So you know,
For me, if I had to give my top three, I think I'd go probably Mark Dull third. I'd go Romeo Parks second and Rory Gafferty first. I think he'll get a decent run
Daphne.
in the team. I think Green probably won't play as much as people think.
Green is past it now, I'd say. Green's
Yeah,
past.
I think Gaffney will make that position his own.
Yeah.
You know, I think he's scored 5 or 6 now at this stage. So if he can keep that
I
up,
think it's 5.
yeah, 5. So I think if he can keep that up, Rover's obviously great, a lot more chances
Yeah.
than the likes of Drogheda. So I think it's fair, but it's so hard. And then as for Player of the Year, I think I'll probably go with Graham Burke. No, actually no. I'm gonna go with Rory Gaffney. I'm gonna go in on Rory Gaffney, Player of the Year.
Fair enough.
He's a good player.
You can't disagree with it.
Yeah, but as well, there's a few links. I heard Owen Doyle maybe to Rovers, and that was obviously this place Gaffney up top, and then also I heard Troy Parrott on loan. Not sure how true that is. I don't think that's very, but sure. If any of them come in, you'd have to change it then because obviously Gaffney won't be playing as much.
Yeah.
But at the moment, yeah, I think that's fair. All right. So now that's this segment done. So tomorrow, me and Jonathan, you're going to be taking a day off, is it done?
Yeah.
Me and Jonathan will be interviewing.
Well needed day off.
Yeah, well needed day off from the one day a week that we do the podcast.
Yeah.
I hope you enjoyed it, boys. So obviously this is the first part. It's going to be on YouTube.
Yeah.
It'll be split up into parts.
Before this.
Yeah, team of the week before this. Then obviously this segment, and then we'll have the Daniel O'Reilly interview.
Yeah.
Which me and Jonathan will do tomorrow, and that will be up as well. So I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you got to saw our beautiful faces. Got to saw Dylan in his hood, hiding the lockdown trim, even though he's inside.
I have to sort it out soon. Once it's up, jumpers off, jersey showing.
Show us the trim.
Oh no. Not sure.
All right.